Funerals can be expensive. The costs are so high that many people are considering different options. One of the most common alternatives is cremation. What is the cost of cremation though? And is it worth foregoing a burial? The answer can be somewhat complicated, so we'll talk more about it in this video. The basic costs. Which is the more affordable option between burial and cremation? The simple answer is that cremation is usually less expensive, but the real answer is quite complex. Much of the expense of funerals comes from unnecessary decorations and services. A good way to avoid this is to plan your funeral ahead of time. Planning your funeral ahead of time helps ensure every decision is made with a clear head, which can save a lot of money in the long run. The location. The cost of a funeral differs from place to place. Most states tend to fall on the lower end of the spectrum, since the average funeral cost in the US is about $7,500. Urns. Much like caskets, urns can vary in quality and price. The most basic urns cost as little as $100. However, many people want specialized urns, which can go as high as $1,000. Jewelry. Suppose you have your loved one cremated, but don't want to leave their ashes in an urn for all eternity. This happens quite a bit, and it has led to some creative ideas. One such idea is to have the ashes turned into an imitation diamond and have it put into jewelry. As beautiful as this idea is, it can be very expensive. Having the diamond made often costs $1,000 at least. A more expensive diamond could surpass the costs of a funeral and burial. Tattoo. Some prefer to keep their loved ones even closer by putting their ashes into ink and getting a tattoo with it. While not as expensive as jewelry, this can add a few additional costs. The average cost of a tattoo in the US is $250. Mixing ashes into tattoo ink is a more specialized process, so a cremation tattoo costs even more. The costs can be even higher if you get a larger tattoo or go to a different business to get the ink. The ink mixers will charge a few $100s themselves, so the total cost of the tattoo can be over $500. It's still well below the cost of a traditional burial, but it's still something to keep in mind. Going green. A green burial means the casket is biodegradable or is replaced with a simple shroud. All this will eventually be broken down by microorganisms and used to feed the plants and soil. Since many expenses of traditional funerals aren't included in a green one, the cost can drop to half or even a quarter of the traditional price. There are also biodegradable urns, which are fairly affordable when it comes to urns. Many of them cost around $300. Viking funerals. While you can't put dead bodies in a boat and legally set them on fire, you can put their ashes in a tiny wicker ship and set that on fire. The ships are biodegradable and everyone loves a Viking funeral. This can be a costly way of sending your loved one off. In addition to the cost of cremation, the ships and their transport costs can be up to $700 or more. The cost of cremation varies quite a bit depending on where you are and the specifics of the cremation. For the most part, they're far more affordable than burial. There are still a few things to know and consider. If you want more information and advice on cremation, especially green cremation, please visit our site. Thanks for watching, and be sure to give this video a like, leave us a comment, and subscribe for more.